Is it recording?
Yeah.
Now it is.
Welcome, everyone, to the Real Whovians cast, episode 879. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and we're continuing from the last one, 878. I'm with Scott. What's up, Scott?
Welcome to the epilogue.
What's up, Chris?
Okay, so let me explain what just happened. I had to come back into the last one, and I didn't have a timer on mine, so I couldn't see how much time we had left. So I was rambling on, and we ran out of time.
You gotta continue.
What I was saying was, we were talking about how David Tennant was the Dark Doctor during his time, and how I said, okay, maybe that's like the beginning of the Valeyard in the Doctor. Mm-hmm. And then Matrix Lord said, and you saw the same thing with Matt Smith, with the whole thing to kind of run away and then saying, it won't be enough to Canton when he was in prison. Or imprisoned in that stuff.
That was great.
What I was saying before when the Zoom shut off was I thought maybe the closer the Doctor gets to the regeneration that the Master told him he would turn into the Valeyard, maybe the closer he gets to that, the more he starts to act like the Valeyard, which we kind of saw that with 10, 11, and they started doing it with 12. But to me, it seems like they've stopped because he doesn't feel the same. Like when he was threatening the Shielda, that was more. I was like, okay, I kind of.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, that was great.
But let me tell you something. 9 did it too. 9 was gonna blow everybody up, the Daleks, everything. But then he's like, "What am I doing?" Like immediately, I'm sure in his head he's like, "Valeyard," and he's like, "This is not me." Even with the Dalek, he was going to shoot it in Dalek episode. Yeah. It's not me. So go ahead. So it's always been building up. It's been building up to 9, 10, 11, and even we don't know if Capaldi threw the half face.
Right. I was going to say that. Yeah. Because I don't remember what did the Master say in that episode? He said it was between his 12th
and final regeneration.
12th and final. So I mean, well.
You don't know.
Now we have to think about it like this, right? Isn't Capaldi technically the 14th Doctor?
Yeah.
Oh, now you're doing that now, right?
Well, I mean, we have to think like this.
Yeah,
because
the War Doctor.
Yeah, and the wasted regeneration that David Tennant had. So technically, is the Master referring to Capaldi as the 12th? Or did he mean 2 Doctors ago? We're already in the range where it could possibly happen.
I thought Capaldi was supposed to be the Beast Doctor.
That's what the
really
intelligence said.
Pissed off, yeah. Well, we didn't know it was Capaldi. It could be some other Doctor.
Right. Well, let's think about this, right? Because when you start to think about it, it's like, okay, so if the War Doctor was the 8th Doctor, or the 9th Doctor, excuse me, if the War Doctor...
No, don't do that. It's just, he doesn't, don't...
No, I'm making a point
Could we not count him in any equation?
No, I'm making a point here because he's canon. No, because he's canon and he's part of the show. I'm making a point here, right? So we have the War Doctor as the 9th Doctor, which he said he was the Doctor at the end of that episode, so he's the Doctor. Okay, so then that would mean that...
Can't you call him 8.5 at least?
No, I can't because I'm trying to make a point here. I'm trying to make a point. Let me finish. So you have the War Doctor as the 9th Doctor. You have Eccleston as the 10th. You have Tennant as the 11th, right? Then he wastes a regeneration. Okay? So now we're technically at 12.
No.
Yes.
We're at 13. Because Matt Smith died in Let's Kill Hitler and had a regeneration but get to cap his face also.
But he didn't regenerate there.
He did regenerate.
No,
he had 20 regenerations in him to regenerate.
No. River used her regenerations on him and healed him. He didn't regenerate.
But they counted a regeneration as David Tennant into Metacrisis Doctor, so that was a regeneration.
That's what I just said.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So technically we're at 12 with David Tennant. Technically. Okay? So you could kind of see there, 12th Doctor and last regeneration, Tennant is starting to show signs of being the Dark Doctor. If you want to think about it like that, I'm saying it's possible and it makes sense. It jives with what the Master said. Coming from where you are coming from, I see what you're saying because, again, if you want to look at it this another way, the right way, in my opinion, which is the way I think you're looking at it, technically, Capaldi should be the 12th Doctor. So you would think about it between Capaldi and whichever is the last Doctor.
Because there's always supposed to be 13 Doctors with 12 regenerations.
Yes, exactly.
And even if you count it, I mean, that's the whole thing. Again, Capaldi, they could have did it right with him, where he was doing dark shit, and then he backtracked.
Sure.
So,
but
again,
they're not, and I don't know why. I
don't know what they're doing. Like, I wish I knew, but I have no freaking clue what Moffat's thing is doing. Moffat even said he don't even know if he's ever going to do the Valeyard, or if they're going to ever do the Valeyard.
That's a wasted opportunity if they don't do it, in my opinion.
The guy's still alive, too.
Oh, yeah, they could easily bring him back. I mean, that'd be
somebody else if you have to.
No, but they brought him back in the audios.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me tell you something. When I listened, I have the audios. I could send them to you. Like, I got chills when I heard him talk to Colin Baker. I was like, oh, shit, this is like Charles Unlock. Oh, my God. It's amazing.
Well, I'm saying, even if they wanted to go in, like, a different direction with him, they cast somebody else. Like, you know. So what?
Yeah, I know.
But if they can get the original guy...
People don't like doing that because, like, when you start recasting, people don't like if you recast a Doctor. So they're not going to like it if you recast a Valeyard.
I don't think anybody knows who the Valeyard is.
Well, that's Moffat's fault, basically.
I mean, to be honest, I think any new fans, like, if you went up to them and like, you know who the Valeyard is, they'd be like, what the hell are you talking about?
That's Moffat's fault for not doing it.
I mean, I don't want to blame Moffat, but it's like, you know, if they recast the guy and they did a different kind of thing with them, I don't think...
You know what I would have did? Because you know I was against the whole John Hurt thing.
Yeah.
I would have did the whole thing where she stopped the Great Intelligence, and the person that she saw in there was the Valeyard. And she's like, I didn't see the same thing like with John Hurt. And then it's like a whole new ball game with that it's still in there, like the Valeyard. I don't know. He's my future self. I have no friggin' clue which Doctor he is, but shit's gonna go down when he comes.
Should really think about that, right? Shouldn't she have seen the Valeyard anyway?
Yeah, she should have.
Okay, so
she didn't even mention the Valeyard.
Yeah, like she says, like, oh, he even says every good day, every bad day, you're in my, you know, time stream. The Valeyard is him, so like, shouldn't she have seen him?
Well. Here's the thing. The Master says it's him. He says it's him. In the audios, they're kind of making it like it's not him, that he was kind of like created in a lab type of thing from the evilness of the... See, so that's what I don't like.
That's lame.
Yeah, that's just an easy out.
It's far more interesting if he's a regeneration that the Doctor has to worry about than, oh, we just made him from your cells.
Yeah, look at Onslaught. And look at the DS9 episode where Dax found out that she had an evil side of herself. They had a temporary body for symbiote. I mean, that was excellent.
Yeah. The Valeyard is a missed opportunity. Well, you know what would be even cooler? If the Valeyard comes across Clara banging the TARDIS all around the universe, and that's how he hitches a ride back in time to, like, maybe he strands her and takes that TARDIS or something.
I always thought it would have been grand to have it set up as like I've said in the past, as sort of a River's song comes upon him, and because he comes to a planet and goes, the Doctor's here? I always thought he showed up after this event, and then it's during something she did. Everybody thinks, oh gosh, she killed a great man. But when she fired the gun to try to stop him, that's when Time Lords took him away to be the prosecutor.
I lost Chris. What the hell?
I think we lost you too.
Me?
I don't even see you on either side of me. Okay, there we go.
You see us?
Yeah, I see you now.
Chris, we lost you. Chris?
Yeah.
Okay, we lost you and he lost me for some reason. Okay.
Yeah.
I honestly would do a thing where I have the Valeyard show up and Misty's like, oh, it's you again. And then he blasts her just to show what a scumbag he is, like even worse than the Master as the Valeyard.
Yeah.
Don't even hesitate. Just shoots a companion or something.
You know, he could theoretically be like the Negan of Doctor Who, where he's not acting the same way as Negan, but he does such appalling things that it's like, oh my gosh, like
he could go to a planet that he saved, right? And he could talk to the alien president. He's like, your race is an annoying piece of shit. And then all of a sudden he's like, what? And then he presses a button, and the whole friggin' planet blows up.
You know what I would love for him to do that to? I would love for him to do that to that race that always surrenders.
Yes.
To show how much of a miserable bastard he is. Like, they surrender, and he's like, oh, you never had a choice. And then he just destroys them.
Yes.
Like,
well, you know what I would do? I would have the TARDIS console, like, have that old switch from, like, John Pertwee time. You know the thing you just click?
Yeah.
Just to have that, he clicks that thing, and the planet blows up. Like that. It's like, oh, my God.
Ooh, how about this? He gives them the option of you can either survive by pressing this button or die by doing nothing. But yet, either way they still die.
Oh.
Or he encounters Captain Jack.
Ooh.
And Captain Jack is like getting beat up by him and stuff. He's like, who are you, the master? He's like, oh, no, I'm better. I'm the doctor. And he's like, oh, shit. And it's like, he's like, yeah, this is what's going to be me, buddy. And then it's like, oh, and then you have the whole thing like Journey's End, where everybody's teamed up.
That's when you bring back Torchwood.
Yeah, to deal with the threat of the Doctor, that's why they were created in the first place.
You could do so much. Like, there's so much you could do with a character like that.
I don't understand why they don't use any of the shit. Well, they do use the shit that we say sometimes, but they twist it. But
it's not the good stuff that we say. They use, like, the stupid things. They're like, it would be funny if this happened. And it's like, ha, ha, ha. And it's like, oh, wait.
They're like, if Strax hit like Clara in the head with a brick, and then it's like, oh, he throws it. It's okay.
Because they missed all these opportunities, like I've said in the past. What I always thought they were going to do is, like, each season they brought back, if it's a cameo, fine. If it's a full episode, fine. But they bring back like an old companion, enemy, or villain. I mean, a monster from the original series. So at least by the time the 50th rolled around, the new fans would go, oh, so that's what happened. That's who they're talking about.
How is it that he does not bump into anybody?
That's what I'm so curious about.
Like, isn't Tegan Javanka an ambassador? Like, how could he not bump into anyone?
Because everyone thinks he's dead, remember?
But that's over now. They know he's alive. That was a stupid explanation, too. Changing the computers to make him like...
going back to what we were talking about with the Valyard, this is a small thing, so like I wouldn't be mad if it happened or not. But it would just be a cool little moment. It would be great if you had the Valyard walk into a room, right? And maybe some of the characters or something, they planned on using the Weeping Angels against him or something like that, or something. He encounters the Weeping Angels somehow. He walks in the room, and even the angels are like terrified of him, right?
Ooh,
and he walks up to one of them, and he just blinks. Like, he blinks, and they don't move because they're that scared of him. And he's just like, he turns his back on them or something, and he's just like, yeah, that's it.
Well, they go after him and they blow up like to stone.
That would be kind of weird, but like I think it would just be that much better to see like they're watching on a monitor or something, and he's like not even acknowledging them or something. He's just like, what? And they're like, why aren't they attacking him? And then they're terrified of him as well.
They can always do a sequel to The Big Bang or Pandorica, where you got to see why they like after that's done and whatever, you see them and like they encounter that Doctor, like turned into the Valyard, and the Daleks like moving backwards. Like, everybody's like, oh, shit.
That would be awesome.
We need to have, and here's the thing, and I know Moffat loves the finale, and do you realize how many times he repeated himself?
Mm.
I'm gonna bring something up to explain how ridiculous shit is. Ready? The Pandorica opens. Everybody's coming. Cybermen, Daleks, this one, that one, your ass, right? Right? Wedding River Song. Silence, this, that, everybody, right? All of a sudden, Tom and the Doctor, everybody's coming. Everybody hears a song, everybody hears a voice, everybody's coming. Why is it the same shit all the time? The same shit all the time. Every single race is coming to the finale because it's the finale. Like, why? Why do you got to do that? Why do you got to do Pandora times 3?
You used up all your good ideas or mediocre ideas throughout that entire season, and it's like, what haven't I used? Oh, I haven't used this before, and then until shows like ours go, Moffat, you used that in episode blah blah blah.
You know, at the end of that episode where Missy told him to go to this coordinates. You know, it would have been much more effective if he went there, didn't see nothing. He opened up the TARDIS door, and he saw wreckages of TARDISes and like dead Time Lords everywhere. Mm-hmm. Like, that's how evil she is. That would be the reverse of the Time War. That she killed everybody, and he did not. Like, oh yeah, they're dead. I killed them. Missy. Like, oh shit.
Or the Valiant did.
Well, that's how she got all the technology. She killed them all. So much good shit, and they're never going to do it. We're going to be dealt with. What happens if an emoji's a villain? Like, really?
What if snot dripped out of our nose? Ooh, there we go. There's a snot monster.
Why is Nardole there?
Yeah, I'm still.
That's the ultimate question, man.
Right? Like, listen, nothing against Matt Lucas. Please, Matt Lucas. But, like, why are you there? Of all the freaking people in the freaking
I could have sworn last time we saw you, you were just getting ahead.
Why? Why him?
Because they wanted...
We could have had Handles. We could have had Rusty. We could have had Handles and Rusty do a duet. We could have had Jackie Tyler.
I'll tell you why.
Like, washing her clothes and
complaining about how dark and depressing the last season was.
That's what it is. I agree.
Bring in some comic relief.
I agree with you, Scott. I think that's what it is. I think that there was like a mandate by the BBC or something, and they were like, this is too dark. And they were like, well, we had that comedy character. Matt Lucas is a comedy actor over here.
Let's bring in Matt Lucas.
Matt Lucas is calling us up. Why don't you just give him a job? And they're like, okay. He's got the same coat. Why has he got the same coat from Husbands? Can't you give him another coat?
Because he was just such a riveting character in that episode, you know?
Yeah.
Like, no offense to Matt Lucas, but like the character of Nardole, it's like, oh, Nardole. Yeah, I remember him.
Dude, like, if we entered a trivia contest for Doctor Who and we got every single one right, the one thing we would get wrong is, who's the guy that lost his head in Husbands? Nardole. I wouldn't even remember his name. Ever. Would never remember his name.
I didn't even know his name was Nardole until people started talking about him being in this next season.
Right.
I was like, you mean the guy that knocked on the door and said, there's a medical emergency? Like, that's it? That's the guy? Him?
Honestly, when they were, I think, was it Connor or Louis? When they broke the news to me, they're like, yeah, like Nardole's the guy. I'm like, who the fuck's Nardole? Who's Nardole? And then when I saw it, right, I said, that's funny. No way. And nobody, let me tell you something, when that hit, nobody was repeating that for a while because I think everybody was sitting on it. And they were processing it, and they're like, is this fake news? And they're like, right? Scott, you remember? All day, Scott. Nobody said shit about it. They're like, and then if this shit's continued, and it's like people didn't want to report it. They're like,
yep.
And then they had to, and they're like, yeah, not
the dude that lost his head.
But the funny thing was, not only when it came out that not only is he appearing again, but Pearl Mackie announced that he's a fucking companion, and I'm like, oh fuck no, what? Like, I was like,
I think if it came from Pearl Mackie, everybody would have bought it a lot more than.
And then I said, you know what? Let me watch his movies, because I was like, you know what? Let me get Nardole in the brain. Like, let me just see. God, and I liked his movies. I'm like, okay, he's funny, but I'm like, but Nardole sucks. The character Nardole sucks. Like, Moffat fucked that up, like, totally.
Nardole is like
it wasn't interesting.
I'm sorry, Nardole is like the Jar Jar of Doctor Who.
Right. No, Jar Jar's more likable, I think.
Well, listen, right? Like, whether he's more likable or not, you know, Jar Jar did more than Nardole, you know?
Let me tell you something. Jar Jar. Wait. Let me tell you something. they have a statue of Jar Jar in the Emperor's like office because like Jar Jar put him in power.
Yeah.
Like he's the founding father of the Empire.
Well, he's Darth Plagueis, remember?
I did it. Like, well, all right. Anyway, let's get back to the thing. So, Nardole, like, I'm trying. Even his lines were like, "I'm busy. I'm going to be playing video games or something in this body or something." Like, remember River's like, "Oh, are you in there, Nardole?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm taking a break." Like, oh, okay.
But how does he get his body back? That's
what they're going to say, right? Someone's going to be like, "Oh, how did you get your body back?" And then, no, I take that back because nobody knows who the hell he is.
Yeah, that's right.
You can't even have Pro Mackey like you know what they'll do? You know what they'll do, and I hope they don't, but I can see it happening. They'll say something like, "Oh yeah, you're a doctor. Remember that time I lost my head?" And she'll be like, "Wait a minute." She'll be like, "Wait a minute. Did you lost your head once?" And she'll be like, "Oh, what did you like go crazy?" He's like, "No, I actually got my head cut off." And she'll be like, "Well, how did you get your body back?" And then the doctor will be like, "Don't worry about it." And we'll just be like, "You."
That or we'll explain later.
I would, if they do that shit in the Christmas special, I would lose my shit. Or they'll make it like Egyptians put him back together like a mummy.
That or he's a previous version before.
No, he can't be a previous version because then he would know who he is.
But what if he's like a headless monk or something,
Listen,
and then they put his head back on?
Listen, all I know is thanks to Nardole, there is hope to have Dorian Moldavar get his body back.
Seriously.
High five. High five. Yeah. Dorian Moldavar.
You know, I was worried. I was really worried. There was a time where I got worried that they were actually going to have like Nardole's head on the robot body, and that was going to be like the comedy relief of the episode. Like, there's a giant robot in the TARDIS with Nardole's head. Well, I was going to be like, listen, you can't do that. It's like, first of all, that would be ridiculous. And then they're like,
when they announced him in the Christmas special, I'm like, oh, is he going to be like Big Hero 6? Is he going to be like a superhero too? Like he's going to, I am Nardole with this big friggin' Jabuta body, and I'm like, wow, they have the money for that, right? Like,
you know what they're going to do? They're going to make him some like android or something. Like it's going to be his head on like an android version of his body.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And he's going to be like friggin' like Inspector Gadget. He's going to be like flipping things out of his hand.
Go, Nardole. Pocket knife. Go, Nardole.
Oh God, I just had a bad idea. What if this Christmas special is not just a Christmas special, but a lead into the finale? What if the finale isn't the Weeping Angels? What if it's like Moffat's making his own effing Avengers? Like a fucking super team, like fucking Nardole with the suit, the fucking this guy, and like a whole fucking
the broken Dalek.
Fucking crazy shit.
Oh gosh, maybe he'll get the Fisher King back.
and their first villain will be the Gaddis of the Eye crowd.
You know what I can picture? Because I know Moffat watches everybody because he said it, right? I could just picture Moffat's like this, and he's like, how can I really piss off Matrix Lord? Right? And he could be like, how many red balloons do we have? It's like
oh, that's going to be another thing. What do you think the red herring is going to be this year?
Because I heard that he, to screw with everybody, purposely put red balloons in Angel's Take Manhattan.
Sure.
Like, for no reason, just to piss everybody off, like, whatever, like. What's the thing? What are they going to do now?
Yeah, well, because remember, there was that one season with Matt Smith where it was like,
the lights was flickering.
And the lights are flickering.
Lights are flickering. They kept talking about fucking fish.
And Christmas. He kept saying things about Christmas.
Post office is closed. I don't know what the fuck that was, but.
So maybe this year, there will be a whole bunch of like roses everywhere in every episode.
If that was a Rose and Crown, they were doing Rose and Donna.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe this year it'll be something related to that diner that is flying around.
Oh, fuck that diner.
Menu.
Fucking makes no
sense. Menu, somebody's going to go.
Fuck that diner.
Menu item.
Or maybe they'll find different pages of a script in each episode, and at the end of the episode, they'll be like, "What is it?" And they're like, "It's a script to a good finale."
What is he doing? I want to see.
Or maybe in each episode, there's a different colored gemstone, and each gemstone does something different. And then in the last episode, they get a glove with the gemstones in. And that's the... Oh, wait, no.
What if they do this?
Justice League is already doing that.
What if they do this, right? What if Moffat's like, I'm going to have this one person that's behind everything.
Yeah.
It's like Series 5. And the Doctor goes to it, and it's Moffat. Like, he's like an actual character, Moffat.
Yeah.
Like in the show. And you see with the pen. Like, and I'm like, okay, voice in the TARDIS. Like I'm gonna. It's like, what? I am the architect. No.
The architect. I am the moth.
I am the moth of the it.
Oh gosh. Or maybe like the in this Christmas special. Maybe it will just be this Christmas special. The superhero is actually Superman, right? And the Doctor's like, "What are you doing here? You're not even supposed to exist." And then Superman's like, "Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like, I was in one universe, and then this really depressed guy punched me and threw me out of my universe." And I was like, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I'm the Man of Steel." And now he's dead. I don't know what happened.
Moffat's going to be a character, and it's just going to be like he has the powers of making things real.
You know what's going to happen, right? He's going to be composed of every villain that he made, right? So it's going to be like he's going to have a giant spoon. He's going to like wipe the crust from his eye and flick it. It's going to turn into the crust.
No, he's going to play the spoons, and one of the times he's done it, he pops himself in the eye, and that's when the crust.
You know what you're going to find out? You're going to find out that the Seventh Doctor's spoons became sentient by being exposed to the time vortex, and then they grew up to be spoonheads.
I think it's time for the fifth
and the Candyman used those spoons.
Yes.
To make death traps.
I think it's time for the Fifth Doctor's celery stick to become.
Give it time. I think it's time. That's probably going to be the fourth one in.
We need, and you know what else? Just to piss everybody off, we'll also make the fourth Doctor's scarf a monster.
And let's make Perry Brown. Let's make Perry Brown's kid, Madame Graveri.
They'll have a giant jelly
She's
baby.
angry. She was left with the Viking.
A giant jelly baby?
That would be Candyman return appearance. He makes jelly babies that kill people.
And to really put like the nail in the coffin, right? You could have Capaldi say something like, "I can't believe I ever ate these disgusting things."
And that's when a giant jelly baby comes.
Do you imagine if jelly babies were like actually candy on Gallifrey? And they'll show like the Doctor or like the Master just showing up and you can have a bag of jelly babies. Thanks.
Good gravy.
I've had those. They're actually quite good.
Remember when the Doctor had a coat that his pockets were bigger on the inside? And they had like a whole fucking universe? Marvel did that, actually.
Yeah.
They copied off that with Power Pack and stuff.
Why don't they make a monster to really cheese it up? Why not make a monster that's like has like it mimics like all of the Doctor's like things that like have been like iconic to them, like the fourth Doctor scarf, and he's got like a bow tie on, and he's got the trench coat from David Tennant, and like he's got like the celery stick from the fifth Doctor, and like he's got like a spotted coat that's in David Tennant style, but it looks like the sixth Doctor, and it's like, why don't do that? Just cheese it up.
What was that demon he was supposed to fight in the 18th century?
Fanboy.
Yeah, fanboy. What was that demon he was supposed to fight in the 18th century that was in the end of time in the freaking stained glass?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can only see through a freaking mirror.
I have no idea what Moffat's going to do. I'm scared.
Well, I mean, really, think about it. What else could they do? They've already done like people's fat and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, why not?
Please don't make it that your poop is alive and it creates like a parallel universe of alien civilizations.
Let's not. No more bodily fluid monsters, okay?
Yeah, he will do that, actually. Remember, according to Doctor Who, we're all Adric. Just remember that.
Yep.
It's Adric's DNA. We're all Adric. Just remember that.
Except Nardole.
Right?
Yeah.
Nardole's not Adric.
You got to think of another way too. I said this before. If it wasn't for the Doctor, there would be no human race.
Yep.
Because he defeated the Jaggeroth, and the thing blew up and charged Adric all over the place.
Yep.
And the Spider Woman, her ship hit the Earth and it started rotating, and then that's what caused the planet's formation.
The Doctor can cook. We've seen it with Craig. He knows how to cook a planet and make some alien babies, things. Yeah. Can we get off Earth, please? Please? Not even Earth 2, Earth 3, Earth 17. No.
Total new alien civilization, alien world, and if you want to, I wouldn't even be objected to a purely alien companion.
Can't we just see, you know what I want to see? Can't we just see the aliens bump into each other by accident? Like the Cybermen bump into the Daleks, or like somebody bump into the Daleks and they don't know who the Daleks are, and they start fighting each other like crazy. Like, why doesn't that happen?
Because they've already said that the Daleks can basically solo the entire Doctor Who universe. I mean, think about it.
They could pull him out of the TARDIS. They could destroy the TARDIS. They could destroy the shields. How many times did they destroy the TARDIS for crying out loud? Like, really?
Yeah, but now the TARDIS can regenerate, so it's like, yeah.
Yeah. The TARDIS can shrink, regenerate, split, and grow itself back. And the TARDIS has a consciousness that controls wherever it wants to go.
Yeah.
I'm not too upset about that. I mean, I kind of like that idea, as long as it's not talking to him, you know? Like, if the TARDIS would have started talking, then I would have been like, oh. Yeah.
Well, that's another thing. The angels talk to River in her head, probably because her mother had the angel in her, and that's from her mother.
Well, you remember, too, they also stole that one guy's, Bob's, vocal cords, and they were talking to the Doctor through those.
That was cool, too.
That's, I mean...
And who wrote that book that they were reading? Rory wrote that book? This crazy
somebody
person
wrote that book. Yeah, somebody wrote, I don't know if it was Rory, but somebody wrote that book.
That River was reading it to them? And
I don't know. You know, that might be interesting. Maybe they meet that guy, and that's like a Weeping Angel adventure, and he's writing the book. You know, or maybe he gets the idea to study them more, like it inspires him to study them more, and then eventually he writes that book, and it leads to that.
You know, not for nothing, but this whole thing with Moffat fascinates me, because I know that he likes Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Because Clara and the Doctor, Doc Brown, Clara, the tombstones, the death, you know? Who's to, and they even said it, because Arthur Dove even said, if he didn't get the job with the Legends of Tomorrow, he says, I would love to just show up in Doctor Who and they just continue on with the Rory stuff. He doesn't age or whatever. Like, what the fuck is he? Like, what is he? Like, he's not an android now, so what the hell is he? He's got to be a Time. I always thought that maybe he was a Time Lord.
Yeah, because I remember from the first episode with him, his name badge, the date was wrong.
You know what I always thought? I thought that Lucy Saxon was pregnant, and she gave up the baby, so the Master never knew, and he could be the Master's kid. Because the thing is, it would be a lot more believable that he was a Time Lord, and that's why the baby's a Time Lord, because Rory was a Time Lord. Or even that his mother was Leela, and that was that whole thing from back then.
Yeah, you know, that's an interesting idea, because I think it's a lot better than, oh, well, you know, if you kind of, you know, get busy in the TARDIS and we're time traveling, your child becomes part Time Lord.
But anybody could do that, because you don't just get regenerations.
No.
Oh,
So
that's true. You have to go to the academy and stuff.
But not with River.
Yeah, you're right.
You have to have two hearts. That's another thing. You have to have two hearts to withstand the pain of regeneration, because one heart will blow up probably. So she's probably got two hearts also. I would think. I don't know. Right?
I guess. I know that they tried to explain it away by saying, "Oh, but that's how the original Time Lords were made because they were by the Untempered Schism and they were exposed to it for so long." And I was like, "Okay, but is that the same thing as being in the Time Vortex?"
Yeah.
I guess.
That's where I also thought the silence could have came from.
Yeah.
From the schism.
I don't know. Because honestly, if River doesn't blow up from having all that Time Lord stuff in her, why does Donna do it? She has to have two hearts. She has to have two hearts.
Question.
She has to have two hearts. But if you remember River, they said that they can't teach ancient Gallifreyan where she learned. So at some point in time, River goes to Gallifrey and learns. Which maybe that's how she got regenerations, or maybe not. I don't know.
I don't think we'll ever know.
Yeah.
Whether River was part Omega, maybe DNA or something, but honestly, somebody would have to give her regenerations. Unless that's bullshit too. That's uncanonized, whatever. You know? And they keep talking about I'm expecting them to have an episode called Happy Birthday River. Because, like, why do they keep talking about this birthday party with River with two doctors? Wasn't Stevie Wonder supposed to be part of that? Remember that? She was talking about something? Two doctors. It has to be David Tennant and Matt Smith. Because David Tennant was going
with the audio.
No, but it has to be David Tennant because he'd probably be like exploring, like what the hell is up with her. He wanted to know her because obviously he knows he falls in love with her, I guess, at some point. So, all right, less than a minute, guys. That's it. Take care. Bye for now.
Ciao.